Welcome folks to another episode of D-Ski Grills. It's been a few weeks since I did the initial review of the Venom Temp controller for the 26-inch Weber kettle. So at that time, if you saw that video, I spent a little time showing you guys what the Venom was about as far as all of the components. We did an unboxing. Then we got a chance to go outside and I got that thing assembled. Now, since then, it's been a couple of weeks, haven't had time, had a big catering event for Memorial Day, took a lot of my time, but I've been itching to finally get the first cook done on the 26-inch kettle and let you guys know what I think about the Venom controller, right? So this again is a set it and forget it type method of controlling your temperatures. And what we're gonna do is do one of my favorite recipes on a kettle. So today, what we're gonna make is grilled fried chicken on the 26-inch Weber kettle using the Venom Temp controller. Let's go. All right, folks, so you saw that intro. So what we're gonna do is get on outside and get this thing fired up for the first time. So really excited about this initial first cook. I've seen some videos in the past where people have spoken highly about this controller for the 22-inch. So this is gonna be so fun to me. Now, what we're shooting for, just so you guys know, to make this awesome grilled fried chicken, we have to hold our temperatures at around 350 to 375 degrees the entire cook, okay? I want this to be hot and fast, off the grill in about an hour, maybe an hour, 10 minutes max. So the controller comes with a regular plug-in where you can go off into your 110 wall outlet. But if you're so inclined, you can also purchase a battery pack. So it's kind of a way to be able to take this thing with you and go mobile. Now we're gonna cook in the backyard, but I wanna try out that battery pack. I wanna see how cool that is. Plus I wanna have a good angle so you guys can see this thing in action. So you know what we'll do. I'll take you to the cutting board. I'll show you step by step how we are going to get this thing set up outside. We're gonna get this chicken on. And I think what I'll do real quick is show you the chicken. Now I've had this chicken brining for 2 days, more of a dry brine. The chicken seasoning is not what this is all about, but I'll share it with you, okay? So what we have right here is 12 chicken thighs that I seasoned with the It's Incredible and Clucker Dust, okay? Clucker Dust is truly my chicken rub. They have been in the refrigerator for 2 days, all right? So they're sitting on the cutting board now, coming up to room temperature. And in the meantime, we'll go outside and get that grill fired up, see what this Venom is all about, how long it takes to get to 350 degrees, just some of the things we wanna know before we make this type of a purchase. So as always, folks, I wanna thank you as always for joining me and let's get cooking. Okay, so we're out at the 26-inch kettle. So first and foremost, we need to get some charcoal added. What I have is the slow and sear. We do have some charcoal in it, so we'll just kind of shake down the ash. Like that. All right, and then the plan is going to be to top it off. Riley is barking at something outside right now. Not sure what it is, but we're gonna top it off with some Jealous Devil. Okay, so we're gonna come back with some lump charcoal and get that added and get this thing filled up. Now this is the Jealous Devil XL, so you know you're gonna get big chunks like this, which is all well and good, okay? So we're gonna add that to the slow and sear. Sooner or later we're gonna find out what's going on with Riley as well. And then, of course, we will use the grill gun as well to get this thing fired up, okay? Before we get this fired up, we're gonna go ahead and make sure that we are ready to go with the Venom. So let's go ahead and take a look at that and see if everything is ready to go, okay? All right, so first and foremost, we are gonna go ahead, like I said, and use the battery pack instead of the regular 110 that you would plug into your wall outlet, okay? Now, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in place. I'm gonna come on the other side. And we're just gonna put it right up under because it's magnetized, just like this, and make sure that baby is there. So it is seated right there and ready to go. We're gonna come back with the plug that we have here and plug that into the unit. Once you get that in, you twist it and it's locked in and ready to go. Okay, so all we're gonna do now, folks, is go ahead and hit the power button on the battery pack. And I make sure you see it. It's right here, this button here. We'll hit that button, okay? And we should get power. Let's hit that. All right, and we have power here, right? And we want to make sure we have it turned on here as well, okay? So let me hit the power here. And here's what it's talking about. It is saying 89 degrees Fahrenheit. What is it judging? It is judging the grill grate thermometer that we have here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and clean the grill, put this in place. All right, now we want to shoot for a target temperature of 350 degrees for the grill. So let me get this put in place really quick, and then we're going to deal with the settings here and make sure we get this thing set up for 350. What we're going to do now is go ahead and fire up the grill. Okay, so good enough. We've lit it for the most part in all areas. I don't want to do all the work for the Venom. We want to see how it performs, okay? So we're going to go ahead and put the grill gun back up really fast. We want to come back with our grill grate, get it in place. Easy enough. And we're going to clean our grill. So we do have some gunk from the last cook. We'll get all that off of there right now. A clean grill is a happy grill, right? When you're talking about my famous grilled fried chicken, it's got to be right. Got to be right. Okay, so I'm going to say that this is good enough. And now we're going to go right back to the controller and try to get this thing set up for that 350 degrees. So let's do that. Now, I read this a few weeks ago, so if I'm off a little bit, bear with me. But first and foremost, I want to grab the grill grate thermometer, and I want to get that in place. And I think I'm going to put it somewhere towards the back, out of the way, so it can start doing its job. Okay, so we have that there, all right? Now our chicken is going to go indirect on this side. So we have that in place. So I'm going to go ahead and get that shut down. Okay, now we're going to get this thing set. So let's see what it tells us, okay? I want to get the temperature set. So here is the temperature button. Okay, all right, first thing it says is close draft door. All right, so pretty much it says, hey, I want to do the job. I don't need your help. So close me off so I can work, okay? So on this side, which you can't see, I'm totally closing the draft door. Okay, so now my door is totally closed. All right, and then I'm going to hit it again just because I'm a little slow here. Okay, so we close the draft door. After that, all we're going to do now is select target temperature. All right, we're going to set it at 365 degrees. And immediately the fan kicks in. It says for your top damper to leave it halfway open. So we'll do that. So we are at about halfway open. Let me see. Yeah. So we're about halfway open right here. Hopefully you can hear this fan, but the fan kicked in immediately. Now, our grill grate temperature or level right now is 129 degrees. When this baby gets to 365, we'll get a chance to see what kind of regulating action this thing does, okay? But I'm not putting this chicken on until we hit 365, and then we'll go from there. So far, so good. Excited about it. As you can see, it is moving up in temperature. Moving on up. Like the Jeffersons, right? All right, so what we'll do is I'll time it. We'll see how long it takes to go from where it's at to 365 degrees. So at least you can have that in your mental Rolodex as well when you're doing these type of cooks. It is around 6:30 p.m. It gets dark around 8:30 now. It is the summertime. And what I really want to do is see if I can do something like this after work, make some good barbecue to get us through that evening and maybe the next day leftovers. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, we're back. We are 10 minutes into getting this thing up to that 365 degrees. So I wanted us to check in and let you see exactly where it's at so far at the 10-minute mark. All right, so if you look down here on the dial, we're at around 255 degrees, all right? So we're about 110 degrees off of our target temp. Now, in the meantime, the fan is blowing. It is working hard to get there. So I think maybe 10 more minutes max and we should be there. But in the meantime, I am chopping up some red potatoes. I think I'm going to steam some red potatoes. I'm in there getting them seasoned up. I'm going to come back out here in about 5 minutes just to make sure I don't miss us getting up to that 365 and giving you a true time on what it took. So I'll get back with you in about 5 minutes. If it's not up to temperature in 5 minutes, I'll come back when the baby is up to temperature and we will check the time. See you in a second. Okay, folks, so 15 minutes later, we weren't quite there. So I went back, finished up the seasoning of the potatoes, came back out. And now, as you can see, instead of the 365 we had it set at, this baby is showing 389 degrees, okay? Let's open this up really quick. I want to see what we got going on. Now, here, again, is our grade level thermometer, right? So it should be pretty accurate at the grade level. So what I believe is going on is it overshot, but when I open it up and I go ahead and add the chicken, and you see it drops back down. I believe if it goes up under 365, that fan will kick back on, okay? But what I want to see is once everything heats up, will it stabilize and stay around that 365? So what we're going to do now is go ahead and get the chicken added. So what that means is that we are now at my favorite part of the video, and you know what that is. Let's get cooking. All right, folks, let's get this baby opened up. See if this fan kicks in because the temperature is definitely going to drop. You can see right now what I mean. We're at 368, it's steady climbing, right? So we'll see what happens when you open the door. Now this may be a heck of a challenge for the Venom because we are talking Jealous Devil. We are talking about a hot grill. And sure enough, that fan just kicked on. I want you to see this chicken. It is truly seasoned just to perfection. I went up under the skin and everything. 2 days worth of this dry brine process with the It's Incredible and the clucker dust. So can't wait to see the end result of this. All right, we are shooting to get all 12 pieces on. The 26-inch kettle can definitely handle that type of workload. And we'll get our last piece here. Make a little room over here. I don't want things touching. I want some space in between them. All right, like that. Okay, so we'll get you an up-close look at this. Again, hopefully you can hear that fan. That fan is wide open because we have that door open. So I want to get it shut back down, give it a fair chance to come back up to temperature, and then from there, we'll see how this baby stabilizes, all right? But thank you guys for hanging in there with me for this first cook on the Venom temp controller. We're going to see what it's about. I'm going to tell you guys my final results at the end. All right, folks, so we're back. After closing the lid on the chicken, it was at around 320 degrees for quite some time. Now, as you can see now, the fan is off. We are about to hit that 365 target temp in just a second. And what I'm wondering now is, how is this thing going to regulate and make sure it doesn't go crazy and go up to like 380 or 390? So it's going to be interesting to see how that happens. The fan just kicked in just now, which I would think is not the best thing for it because, you know, using the fan generally makes things get hotter, right? Because you're adding oxygen to that grill or to that charcoal. But what it's doing is trying to get it up to 365. So right now we're plus or minus 3 degrees. I'm going to leave it here with you guys for a second. Let's see what this does. Let's spend at least a minute together because we have a full bed of Jealous Devil lump charcoal. It is hot in there, right? So it is angry. And it looks like what this thing is doing is regulating, keeping that baby from going above that 365. It's blowing because it's trying to get hotter, right? So it wants to take it up to 365 and just wants to, I guess, wrestle with that temperature. That was a crazy drop, that 353, 352. Okay, we're going to let it run for a minute. It's really, really weird. It's really weird what's going on right now. steady going down instead of up. Now we have smoke coming out the stack. You can see that. We have plenty of smoke coming out. I know those coals are lit and I know they're hot in there. So again, right now it's actually 15 degrees off when it was almost at the target temperature. It just dropped. Now, could this be because I'm doing a hot and fast and this thing only likes to do low and slow? I don't know. We'll have to do future cooks on it as well to do maybe a brisket or do some ribs or something where we set it up for that 225 type range and see how it acts. I'm wondering if these high temperatures is a little bit harder for it to maintain. Don't know, again, first cook. But right now you can see we're 20 degrees off. It's not going to hurt one bit. Honestly, when I make this grilled fried chicken, if I can have it somewhere around 350, I think we're still going to have the result we want. But it is a little concerning that we are 20 degrees off from where we need to be. So I'll get back with you guys maybe in about 10 more minutes, see if this thing starts coming up or even drops lower. See you guys in a bit. We'll also open it up for the first time. It'll be around 25 minutes into the cook at that time. We'll open it up and I need to spray this baby down to make sure we keep the color. So I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, so we're back. 10 minutes later, I'm a little troubled, all right? I'll show you why. It went from 340, if you guys remember, it dropped down drastically. And 10 minutes later, it's up to 389 degrees. So first, we were 20 degrees under target temperature. Now, we're 20 plus degrees over target temperature. Now, I'm at the point now where I'm wondering if I should have just read those instructions all the way through, because maybe, and this is me trying to give this product the benefit of the doubt, maybe this thing says don't use for cooks over 350 degrees. I don't know. If anybody who uses the Venom can comment and let me know about that, that could be what the situation is. Maybe this thing is geared strictly towards low and slow, and that's where it performs the best. But as of now, it's time for me to make sure I save the chicken, right? So it's all about saving the chicken. So we're gonna get this thing opened up really quick, spray it down real quick, see how it's coming along. I'm not concerned by any means because these cooks I do quite a bit. Those type of temperatures aren't alarming, but what's alarming is that if I was out and about and gone, the set it and forget it type function I was hoping this was going to give at those type of temperatures doesn't look like that's going to be a thing. Okay, so let's check it out up close, see how the chicken's coming along. Okay, we are definitely going to burp for safety. We got all kinds of heat happening up under here, so we'll burp for safety, get this baby opened up. And like I said, I knew we were okay. We have a beautiful brown color happening right now on the chicken. I'm going to come back with vegetable oil because what I want to do is make sure to keep that pretty color, just beautiful and golden. Now with these higher temperatures, don't get me wrong, what you're going to get is bite through skin. There's the fan kicking in saying, oh my gosh, I am below the temperature I need to be at. So it does its job there. But as far as regulating, kind of crazy. What I really wonder is if this Jealous Devil, with this full load being hot, maybe I should have just lit it on one side and did the snake type method, maybe, don't know, right? But what I do know is that it is not regulating well at all, right? Plus or minus 20 degrees is too much of a swing for me. Give me plus or minus 5 all day long, we can roll with that. All right, I'm gonna spray it a little bit more because we're not gonna open this thing up for at least another 20 minutes because I do wanna make sure the chicken has a chance to cook, get crispy, and do the regular method. So let's get it shut down. So one thing it did say for setting this thing up was to open up that top damper halfway. What I could do is try to tweak it down to a quarter, see if that has anything to do with it. I think I'll give that a shot really quick, see if I can't understand what's going on here. So what we're gonna do is kind of choke this down a little bit, go down to that half moon setting, and that's gonna be about a quarter of a way open. Not even half a moon, I'm sorry, a quarter of a moon, right? So we have that quarter of a moon type shutdown right here on the top. And then we'll get back together. So right now it's at 254 degrees because I opened it up. We'll see with me taking it down a quarter on that exhaust if this thing stabilizes and maybe stays at that 365 we're shooting for. Now with this cook, again, it takes about an hour. We're only 25-30 minutes into it. We're gonna just keep on checking it out, see if this thing does something and changes my mind towards the end. And I still won't give up on it because who knows, it could just be a low and slow type setup that this thing shines in. So far, not so good. Okay, so a 10-minute check-in really quick. I want you guys to see what's going on. Ever since I took it down to a quarter of the way open, So right now we're at 328. It's going down. Okay. So remember at the very beginning, to reach that 365 degrees, it said, hey, open up the exhaust halfway open. All right. We are a quarter open and we are losing temperature. So again, think about it. 40 degrees off of where I want to be to make this perfect, beautiful grilled chicken, right? Grilled fried chicken. So you got to have that heat, all right? So I don't believe that this is the right way. Instead of a halfway open, I'm going to go in between, right? So we'll go in between. So what, 3/8 of a way, 3/8 of an inch open or 3/8 open. So we'll do something to split that difference, okay? So I'm going to come on and tap this a bit. This was 1/4 inch, like that. I went about 3/8 open. Okay, not halfway, but about 3/8. So I don't know. We'll keep on playing with it. Being 40 degrees off is a concern. This thing is steady dropping. And what I'm going to do in a minute, if that's what I have to do, is I'm going to go ahead and open up the bottom, and I'll go ahead and get this thing fired up and get it done right. But this thing is steady dropping. Okay, so it's strange. Somewhat disappointed right now. It was an expensive purchase. It was over $200, maybe $250. So far, again, not so good. Concerned about it. Temperatures are still dropping, as you can see. I could leave and in 5 minutes this thing be up to 370. So that's weird, right? And that's not good for your food. You can't have these large swings and spikes because you don't end up with the perfect final result if you can't maintain temperatures. That's what barbecue is all about, maintaining temperatures. So again, maybe a low and slow guru, but right now this thing is not doing well and it is steady dropping. This is crazy. See you guys in a second. For real, I'll go crazy in a minute. I'll take this baby off, open it up, and we're gonna get some heat going, but I'll give it about 5 more minutes before, again, we have to do what is most necessary, and that's save the chicken. So in 5 minutes, if this thing hasn't raised up closer to that 350 degrees, I'm gonna go ahead and open up the intake down on the bottom that it told me to close, and I'm gonna go solo and finish this off. So we'll see what we have to do. All right, so 10 more minutes later, I got a little anxious. It got down to 309 degrees. So, you know, I'm pretty sure that now I have to get in this recovery mode to make sure that we save the chicken, right? So the fan is steady kicking on. You see it's up to 350 degrees. It is climbing back up. But the reason it's climbing back up is because I said the heck with it. And I went ahead and opened up the exhaust 100%, right? So I'm forcing it, right? I'm forcing it almost like I'm babysitting and I don't have a temp controller on the kettle. I got it wide open. Even though this thing is closed, it is just heating up. It has to, right? This is physics. It's going to do that. Don't know, y'all. 363 degrees now, right? Fan's turning on. Don't know why the fan would turn on right now when it's about to go over the target temp. But what does it do? It goes back down a little bit. You would think with this fan blowing, this thing should go up. I don't know. Fan stops. It's going to probably get angry and get hotter. You would think. I don't know. Now, with the fan on, you would think it would continue to get hotter. That's what the fan represents. It represents oxygen, and it means charcoal has to get hotter. In this case here, it's just kind of teeter-tottering around 362, 363 degrees. When the fan turns off, you would think it would drop in temperature, and it should drop, right? Because you don't have the intake open, which means that you're choking out the fire. But this thing has the fan going right now, and the temperature's dropping. I don't get it. I don't get it. Look at that. It went down 7 freaking degrees right then. What? What the what? All right. So again, enough of this right now. What I'm going to do is finish up the chicken. But here's what I want to say. As of right now, I'm going to say the Venom Temp controller is a big no-no, right? I have to. What else can I do? I got to be fair in my review. I have to be fair in what you and I are seeing together right now. Again, anyone who raves about this, and I've heard a few people raving about this thing on the 22-inch, exact same system, just some clips that make this thing convertible to the 26-inch. I would love to know if you've done any cooks where you have a target temp of 350 degrees or hotter, and if so, how did it turn out? Am I doing something wrong? Is this past this machine's limitations? which I wouldn't think so, right? I mean, it told me what to do. Open me up, take care of, you can go about your life. You don't have to stay with me. You bought me so you don't have to babysit me all day long. It's not the case here. The nerve of me for thinking about closing out this video without showing you that D-Ski still knows grilled fried chicken, right? So even through all of the ups and downs we've gone through, I do want to show you how this chicken's coming along. We will go ahead and do internal temps real quick, then we'll be done with this video. I tell you what, folks, just not impressed, not impressed. But let's see how that dirty bird's coming along. Check it out. This is what D-Ski can still do, even in the light of terrible temp control, okay? Now, what we have is crispiness. This chicken is crispy. All these pieces are crispy, okay? So again, this is what you're going after. Grilled fried chicken. Oh, I want this fan to stop. I want you guys to hear this. I want you to think I'm joking around when I say this. This is crispy, crispy, all right? Now, we're gonna check internal temps real quick, and we are at around, and it's going right through. Look at that, 200 something degrees. This chicken is done. Oh, this just break right through. Look at that. 192, 193. Okay, so what we're gonna do is go ahead and give this around 5 more minutes, and I'm gonna pull this. We have some steamed potatoes I got going on. We're gonna do some salad, and it's gonna be an awesome meal. This was a chance for us to review this Venom Temp controller and make an all-time favorite at the house, okay? So if you like what we're doing, please subscribe to my channel. Let everyone know what D-Ski Grills is up to. And as always, at D-Ski Grills, grilling is not a pastime, it's a passion. This is a, right now, thumbs down.